Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Because most people over here, and they're crying, and they're going, I don't know how to start a funnel because I don't get technology, and I'm not a Facebook marketer, and Ted, I don't have the things that you had because I'm brand new and I'm starting this business, and poor me, I have no sympathy for you. This is a no sympathy business. Here's what we are doing right now. We have a scaling strategy that we are rocking and rolling with right now. Right now, we spend about $150,000 a month in advertising, okay? Most of this Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. The bulk of it is on Facebook. I would say 85% of it through Facebook, okay? So there's other platforms that we're moving into right now. So we're moving heavily into Instagram. We're moving heavily into YouTube. And our basic scaling strategy in the next 60 days will take us to $300,000. I think it's 300 and we mapped it out the other day. It's gonna be about like $375,000 in spend in the next 60 days. So we're basically doubling, right? So we have this thing mapped out, and part of the scaling strategy when I look at my businesses, part of scaling is actually more, right? So you can look at this in a segment where I go, okay, this is working for us, so we just do more, right? There's a funny story where there's these two guys down at the waterfront, and they're unloading watermelons all day. So they comes in and they load them off the ship, and the watermelons come in, and they take these watermelons and they load like hundreds of them off the ship, and they take them down all the way to the end of the pier, and they set up shop, and then they start selling all the watermelons, and they sell each one of the watermelons for like $1, right? So at the end of the day, one of the guys looks next to the other guy and he's like, how do we do? How do we do on like, the watermelon sales? He's like, well, we paid $1 for each one of the watermelons, and we sold them for $1. So he's like, yeah, so we sold all the watermelons. And the one guy looks at him kind of like a face. He's like, what the hell? You bought them for $1 and we sold them for $1. So how do we do? And he's like, oh, we'll just do more tomorrow. Right? That's a moron, right? Because if you're doing more of something that doesn't work, call it a moron, right? Doing more turns into a moron if the strategy doesn't work, right? So you can't do more of what doesn't work, right? All right? Otherwise, you end up running a business that makes no money. And you run a watermelon business, right? So at the end of the day, we're doing more of what works for our business, right? So our whole thing in 1 week, right, is $4 back cash in 1 week. Make sense? That's our thing. It's not $1 in, $1 back. It's $1 in, $4 back cash, okay? On our lower tier stuff, when we sell a 2K program or when we sell an $8,500 program, we get about $2.50 back right away cash. I don't count sales. Like if it's not cash collected that week, we do way more than this when you count the sales, but I only count the cash collected that week from the new business, okay? That's how I measure my business. So when you start tacking in the higher tier sales, when you get up to 30K sales, it's $1 in, $4 or $5 back same week, okay? That's where we want to live. That's our game. That's our home. That's where we're happy, okay? So with that, our scaling strategies, you can look and you go, we should just do more, which is great. Smart, right? Let's just do more because it's working. So if we keep scaling, it actually works exponentially, because here's something that you want to learn about advertising. If I put $1 in, right, and I make $2 back, this is really good, okay? This is so simple, but it's really good. If I put $1 in and I make $2 back, it's good. I made $1 net. So my net was $1, right? Right? So I put $1 and make $2 back. What's that called? That's called doubling. right? It's doubling. We learned all this stuff in like, arithmetic in school, and it might be the one good thing they taught us in school, right? So it's doubling, right? So then you look and you go, okay, well, if I put $2 in advertising, $2 in, and out of that $2, I doubled, right? What's the name of the game here? It's called doubling, right? Getting ourselves some real mathematicians over here, right? It's called double. Double. Dollar in, $2 out is doubling. If I put $2 in and I get $4 out, is that still called doubling? Leave a comment down below if you want. Like, come on, give us the math here, baby, right? Is that still called doubling? It is. It's not a trick question, okay? It's called doubling. However, up here, if I put $1 in and I make $2 back, my net is $1, right? Pretty simple. $1 in, $2 back, I doubled. My net that I bring in is $1, right? Because I spent $1, I made $2, and my net is $1, right? However, if I now say, I'm going to double, I'm going to do more, which is like, this is where more is not a moron strategy because the strategy is working, right? Now, I make more than this in my strategy, but I'm just giving you a simple example, right? So we do more of what's working, right? So now if I double my spend, instead of spending $1 on advertising, I spend $2 on advertising, and I double. I now have made $4. But here's the thing, right? Here's the trick. What's my net? My net is $2. So my net is 2. Now when you look at this from the context of this, let me ask you this. What's more money in a week? If this dollar was 100 grand, it was your net in a week, okay? It'd be nice to make 100 grand a week. I'll show you how to do it, okay? Just pay attention. Listen to my stuff, okay? 100 grand in a week, right? 100 grand in a week, right? So now you're making 100 grand here with this advertising strategy. Nothing's changed. All you did was double your spend. You see this? I'm now making 200 grand. Holy shit, people. Right? Holy cow, right? So if I can keep this same ROI of $1 in, if just doubling, $1 in, 2 out, $2 in, 4 out, right? I'm just doubling of my spend. Look at the difference. Is there a difference between 100 grand and 200 grand, people? There's a big fucking difference. You can buy a lot of puppies with that. I just bought 2 puppies last night, 2 Pomeranians. You can buy a lot of puppies with that. Lots of puppies. You can have a whole fucking truckload of puppies coming in, right? All right, a whole truckload of them, right? I just bought 2 little Pomeranians. One of them's getting delivered next week. His name is Rocky. Look out for him, okay? He's gonna be in the videos now, and Rocky, if we don't keep doubling, Rocky's gonna get fucking sent back, okay? So here's the deal. We more than double, okay? So I'm always looking for us in a good week, $4 back cash is good in the week, okay? That's my thing. $5 is great, okay? So that's my game. Now this doesn't include other aspects of my business like seminars and masterminds and all that other good stuff. But this is what I'm happy with when we're doing our sales that lead up to 30K, okay? That's the game. And we're looking at cash. So you see cash back. So that's the game you want to play. Cash. Not just sales. So if I make a $10,000 sale, and I collect $5,000, I'm not counting that in the return that week, you see? So I'm counting the cash I actually collected. So anyway, if you keep doubling, holy shit, let's see if we keep doubling, right? If we keep doubling here, watch this, right? If you keep doubling, if you go from 100K to 200K, that's a better week, right? Here's the crazy thing though. It's like, yes, your team grows. Yes, as you start scaling, will you hire new people? Yes, but you're not gonna hire new people in that week of $100,000 more people in that week. You see, it's not like you're gonna hire so many new people that all of a sudden that $100,000 extra that I'm making is gone. No, so it's scaling. That's called scaling a business, right? Watch out, because we're coming, all right? We're going to $1 million in spend by December 27th. We'll be at $370,000 in spend in 60 days from now. We'll be at $600,000 in spend on my birthday at October 27th. And December 27th, we'll be at $1 million in spend a month. I will be showing up in your pillowcases, from your ceilings, and your fans. I'll be walking through your fucking front door, baby, all right? All over the place, all right? I'm coming at you, okay? Ted McGrath everywhere, all right? So here's the game, right? I'm going to be retargeting you and all that stuff. And I get if you're from the European Union, I can't do that. But you US people, I'm coming at you hard, baby, okay? So now you look at the game and you go, if I'm spending $2, if I'm spending $4, right? And now I'm doubling, I'm getting $8 back. Holy cow, right? That's $4, and I'm still only doubling. That means that my actual return, my ROI, my percentage ROI hasn't changed because I'm just doubling, I'm doubling, I'm doubling. My percentage ROI has not changed a bit. I'm just doing more of what works, but instead of 200 grand, it's 400 grand. You see? Huge, right? So once you get something that works, which is why you need to get a funnel. You need to get a funnel, right? You need to get an FU, baby. And you need to have some, at an end, have some fun. And then you need to get some Nell in there, get Nelly in there, and do a rap song. You know, that's what you need to do, okay? You need to get a fun Nelly. Fun Nelly, that's what you need to get, okay? A fun Nelly, that's the new name. You need to have some fun doing this thing, and you need to get Nelly involved. You need to start singing as you create that thing instead of crying, because most people over here, and they're crying, and they're going, I don't know how to start a funnel because I don't get technology, and I'm not a Facebook marketer, and Ted, you know, I don't have the things that you had because I'm brand new and I'm starting this business, and poor me, I have no sympathy for you. This is a no sympathy business, okay? I love you, I'll empathize for you, but I'll never give you sympathy because sympathy won't serve you, okay? I'm going to give you motivation, but I can't give that to you. I'm going to give you ideas. You're going to get motivated, okay? All I want to do is give you ideas, right? I want to give you an idea that comes through you, and you're like, I'm inspired today, right? Now, I'm going to give you another idea. Here it comes. Ready? Here it comes, okay? I want to give you ideas for inspiration. I don't want you to take everything and do it, because here's the thing, right? If you say you're not spending $150,000 a month like me. Say you're spending 15 cents a month, right? And you're like, Ted, I'm spending 15 cents, man. That's all I can afford. I'm on food stamps doing advertising, right? And you're like, I got 15 cents of food stamps and I want to start doing some advertising, right? So at the end of the day, if you're here at 15 cents, right, and you're putting it in and you're doubling, you just made 30 cents. So this is not about a big budget to where you're going, I need this massive budget to do it. Yeah, do you need a little bit more than 15 cents? Yeah, let's be realistic. To be on advertising, maybe you start with $10 a day or something, right? You start testing a little bit. So the question is, can you get $300 a month? Can you muster it up to figure out a way to do some advertising? The answer is yes, right? Anybody can do that, okay? So, if you start doubling like that, that would be a good goal. Hell, just making your money back out of the gates is good. And out of the gates, you might lose some money. So you got to be prepared that like this $300 while I'm testing, it might go down the old toiletto, you know? It's going to go down the toilet potentially, but it's not going down the toilet because you're learning. You're getting an education. You're getting mastery. And when you have an education and knowledge, you have power, okay? All right, so next idea, number 2 coming, is that instead of just doing more of what you do, you can test what you already have going, right? What do I mean by that? You can take a thing basically and improve it. So if you improve the system, right? You improve the system, then all of a sudden, the dollar that you were spending and you were making back $2, if you improve the system, you could put $1 in and maybe made back $3. And instead of doubling, you are now tripling. Aha! Okay, so this is where it comes in. Sanity, people, sanity, sanity, sanity. Sanity equals, I know what a difference is. I know I can't spell difference, but I fucking know what it is. I know difference, right? What's the difference between the things that are the same and the things that are different? Doubling is not the same as testing and improving, you see? There's a difference. So you have a machine that's going up and you can do more if it's successful and make more. But if you notice slight differences, right, which most of the world does not, right? You ever have a conversation with somebody and you're like, yeah, so I did this, or like, yeah, it's the same thing. And then you inquire, you're like, was it really the same thing? And you actually, the people who start telling you it's the same thing, like, yeah, this is like, this canteen here, it's blue. And then somebody's got one, yeah, I got the same thing. Well, actually, no, yours is red. So it's the same canteen, but yours is red. You get a red canteen, I get a blue, so it's not exactly the same. There's a slight difference in it. Or they're holding up a watermelon, like, this is a great watermelon, and I'm like, yeah, I got one too, and I got a cantaloupe. Watermelon and cantaloupe ain't the same thing. They're different. So if you don't know the difference, and you start buying into what people tell you that it's the same thing, because people will do that, you know why? Because they actually, and sometimes they think it's the same thing. The world has gotten used to going, it's the same. You know, and the same, the people go, it's the same, they are fucking insane, man. You got to watch out for that. They're insane. Unless it actually is the same, right? Unless it is the same. So you have to know when you're marketing, what's the difference that I can recognize that will make a difference. Okay? I was just on a phone call. I was having a conversation with somebody. I was like, okay. I was like, we have a sequence now in our marketing. We have emails that go out, right? I'm looking to change things up. Now, a lesson in marketing, never, ever, 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 ever change something without testing it. If you have a system up, it's like having the castle, and all of a sudden you have this idea, you're like, I got this great castle. And you're like, we should take the floors out and put these new floors in, and you wake up and you find out they're fucking paper floors, and you just fell down into the moat, and the crocodiles fucking ate you, your castle gets destroyed, same thing happens in marketing. You do not want to test new floors and find out they're fucking paper, right? If you do that, your business crumbles. So when you change slightly, you see? You change slightly. You make small changes and you test. So we got this idea coming in, because everybody's got a good idea, and this is the other thing. People will come with good ideas, and you'll hear people out there going, well, this person's doing this market, it's crazy. And then you'll get off this YouTube thing or this Facebook thing, and you'll be like, Ted McGrath's doing this, and this works. And then, so you start sending messages, and like, I heard this thing, and I heard this thing, and I heard this thing, and you just get confused. You're like, I'm just confused. Like, what strategy actually works, right? So it's not that there is a strategy particularly that just works. There is the person, the spiritual being behind the wheel driving the car that makes the car go straight. There's all kinds of different cars out there in the world that are good that get you to your destination, right? So you have to understand marketing to get it to work. If you understand it, multiple strategies can work. So don't get confused that Tom's doing this today and Joe's doing this and Dave's doing this, so I have to do all these strategies. No, you pick one. And if you understand what you're doing, you could be successful with it. So, emails, we're looking at it today, we get this idea, we're going, okay, so we got a bunch of emails in our follow-up sequence. We got like 60 days when somebody joins our list, 60 days of emails. And we're like, we sell a lot of products to these people, right? So the question I was raising today, I'm like, well, in the first 6 days, where they join our list, we want to get them to buy these products, right? We want buyers. That's my goal. I want people who buy stuff, right? Because when they buy, I know they're serious about their career. So we want buyers in this first 6 days. So I'm like, I'm not going to change that because this is 90% of the system right now that pretty much brings in the revenue. That's kind of my idea on it. So I'm like, I don't want to change the first 6 days, but I go, you know what we could test? We could test something. We could test the other 54 days after that really only account for 10% of the product sales. And what if, instead of selling them products and giving them content, we could give them great content, but the sole focus was not to get them to buy a product. The sole focus was to get them a free coaching session, which is the sole focus of our business anyway. Get people free coaching, get them into our programs, right? So what if that next 54 days, what if we tested it in a way to where we sent really great content, we told really great stories, we gave people a really good idea of what my brand is, and then we said, hey, like if you want to have a business like this too, and you want to be considered to be close to Ted and be his next success story and be in some of his higher tier programs, why don't you go book this session right here? Could we, in those 54 days, because when I change it to 6 people, the 6, the 90% is fucking killing it right now. We're not going to change that, right? It's working. You don't change that. But we'll test this and see, could we triple, 3x the revenue that we're making on this right now? Could we 5x it? Could we 10x it? Now, it doesn't mean we 10x all the revenue in our business. We just 10x this 10% right now here, you see? But that would make a difference. If we 10x'd it, heck, if we 10x'd it, wow, if we 10x'd it, it would be like doing the same thing as this. Pretty interesting, huh? So that is the game we're playing, right? Figuring out how to make this better. So the second idea of the day is simple. It is simply improve what you're doing by testing small, simple ideas that you have and going, if I make this small change, could it make a difference in my business? And that is the lesson for today. Recap is number 1. Really simple. Do more of what's working. Holy cow. This is like such a simple concept. It really is, but like, here's the thing, like how many of us, I know I've done this before, like something's working and we want to jump to the next thing. Right? You ever done that? It's like, this thing's working. I got this new idea, I'm going to do this, great. Put the new idea on the, trust me, I'm the king of this, okay? But now I look, I'm like, I got this great system, like why don't we just do more? Do more, do more, do more, do more. Fuel the thing that is already working. And then doing more will make more money, and then you just improve. So you do more of what's working, and you improve just through testing. Small, itty-bitty little tests, little things you can do to test to see if it works, and if it works, you implement it, and you change the game.